Like, subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos from PHN Learn. For more videos, download our app from the Play Store.
Welcome back to the Android Studio Development Tutorial by PHN Technology Private Limited. So in this video, we are going to learn about alert dialog. We are learning about dialogues in this section, and this video will refer to the date picker dialog. So while filling out registration form, many times we have to give input as date. For example, date of birth, date of joining, date of leaving, or many others. So when we have to type a date, usually we don't type it like 17th August 2020. What we do is we select from a calendar. So when we click on that option for select date, a calendar appears and then we can select our desired date from the calendar. This dialog, this pop-up box that makes us to choose a date is called as date picker dialog. And today we will be seeing how to implement a date picker dialog and how to get the output from it. So whatever the date user will have selected, for example, user selected today's date, so that today's date should be stored in a variable so that we can use it further. So let's get started. This is my project that I have added. So here first let's delete this previously present text view. After this, we will change this constraint layout to linear layout. I'll change its orientation to vertical. Vertical. Here I will add a button and a text view. So whenever I'll click on that button, the pop-up will appear, I'll select a date and that date will be displayed on the text view. This is what I want. So first of all, I'll have to add a button. Wrap content, end of tag. This is the text properties, select date. Okay. To make it to the center, we will use layout gravity center and we will give it a margin top of 100 SPs. After this, and we will give it ID. Okay. Let's say date. Okay. After this, I will have a text view. Text view's T should be capital. Wrap content, text, date will be displayed here. We'll make it to the center. Then we will change its text size. We will give it a margin top. If you want, you can change the text color also. I'll keep it as it is. Next, we'll have to give it ID. So ID, CDate. Okay. So CDate and select underscore date. So the ID of the button will be select underscore date and the ID of the text view will be CDate. Okay. Let's go to our Java file now. So all the pop-ups, you can use a date picker control, but that way instead of that, I'll prefer you to use the date picker in design section instead of design section in the code section. Okay, so just like we designed our alert dialog, we designed our progress bar, we can design date picker dialog also in the Java file, which becomes very easier to operate with it. Okay, there is another way also. You can add the date picker control, then you have to create an object of it, you have to initialize that object. Okay. So we'll go for the first approach, that is directly design it in the Java file, which is simpler and fast. Okay. As the Java file is executed in runtime, this approach results in the faster way. Okay. So here what we will do is we will first of all create objects of button, let's say date, and we will create object of text view, text view, TV. Okay. Next is we will have to initialize these objects. So date equals to find view by ID r.id.select date, okay. And TV equals to find view by ID r.id.cdate. CDate is the ID of our text view and select date is the ID of our button. Next, we have to write the click event of the button. So date dot set on click listener new space capital O enter. Now as we have seen in the previous alert dialog video also, we cannot write a click event inside a click event. So we will have to call a function here, let us say show date. Okay. Show date, initially it will show error because this is a user defined function. So after this on create, I will create here a function public void show date. Here we will write our code for displaying the text picker, date picker in this show date function. We cannot write the code here directly because it will show error. So in this on click, we are calling a function and we will write our code in this function. Now what I want to do here is, I want to first of all create a date picker. So let's begin. Date picker dialog dp equals to, or just a minute, before creating this date picker dialog, first what we have to do is we have to get the current date and time, okay, because we need to set the current date and time. When you open that date picker calendar, it starts from today. So for that purpose we need today's date and time, and to get today's date and time we will have to use a Java class calendar. So when you are typing calendar, remember C will be capital and you have to go for java.util calendar. Calendar C equals to calendar.getInstance. Now I will declare a int day will be c.get calendar.day of month. Means it will return today's day of month, whatever will be your today's date. Okay. Next we have to get month, so int month equals to c.get calendar.month. So it will return month in integer 0, 1, 2. So if it is January, it will be 0, February 1, March 2. It starts from 0. And finally the year, so int year equals to c.get calendar.year. So the year will be stored in year. Now this code is to get the today's date. Okay. To get what is the date today, we are going to use this calendar code, and we have stored the today's date in day, month and year, 3 variables. And after this we have to display our date picker dialog. So to display the date picker dialog, we will type date picker, select for date picker dialog, don't go for date picker, okay. dp equals to new date picker dialog. Now here in this constructor, the first parameter is this, so you have to write this comma. Next we have to write new space capital O, so it will show the on date set listener. Now here we are getting lots of error, don't worry, we will solve all of them. First of all, give a semicolon at the end. Then we have to set the current date to this date picker. So to set that current date, we are going to type here in between this round bracket and curly bracket. We will first pass the current year, then the current day, and then current year, then the current month and the current day, which we have stored in these variables here. Now our errors are solved. So see what happens when you click on the button, this date picker dialog appears, and when you select certain date, so this on date set method is called. And what happens? The new date that you have selected is stored in these variables. Now here coincidentally our names are same, so you can change the names of the variables here. Okay. Year n, month n, day of month, or you can change the variables here, it's up to you. Yes, I have changed them here. Now the year that you have, for example, you have selected a new date as 15th August 2020. So 2020 will be stored in year n, August will be stored in month n, and date 15 will be stored in day of month. Now months are stored as number and number starts from 0. So for August the number stored will be 7. Okay. Now we will, here we have to simply set it to the text view. So tv.setText selected date is, yes, what is the selected date? So first day of month plus, so after day a slash should be displayed. So in double quote slash plus month. Now as we discussed, month is 1 minus. So to display correct month, we will have to add 1 to it. So in brackets, I will write down month n plus 1. After this bracket plus again 1 slash and then year n. So the selected year is year n. Now let's run this program and check the output. Installing, launching activity. Yes. So this is our activity, select date. It will not show the date picker dialog because we have designed it but we haven't displayed it. We have to make it visible using dp.show. Let's run again. We'll click on select date. See, it is on current date, that is 30th August 2020. You can select any date of any year. Let's say 2018, 15th August. So 15th August 2018, okay. Selected date is 15th 8 2018. You can store it in a variable and you can use it for database or for processing purpose, whatever is your application. Alright, so this was all about date picker dialog. See you again in the next video. Bye-bye.
For more videos, download our app from the Play Store.